Well, I'm back. It's May 8th. It's 11 o'clock. I haven't been back in 2 weeks because of my back. And you can tell it by the grass. It definitely needs to be mowed. But what I have planned, also I have a dead bird there. What I have planned is to try to get the water on. I'll be gone next week for most of the start of the week. And so I'd like to get the water on. Let there be light. And there was light. So that's what I've got planned. I'll open up here in just a moment. Good morning, Mom and Dad. Okay, I've opened the outhouse up. Brought my water in, and now I'm going to open this up. Brother-in-law called and said they wanted to come down on the 17th and do the power washing. So, I need to get the water on. Not sure I'll have an opportunity next week. So I tweaked my back 2 weeks ago, and it's still just slightly sore, and I've got a golf trip next week. So I don't want to do anything to harm it too bad. That's one of the things I wanted to look at. One of the things I did before I left, I mixed up the weed killer with some vinegar, and it did do the job. It killed stuff, and I don't see it coming back. So that's great. We've got had quite a bit of rain this week, so you can see the water's back up. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that it would not be stopping up, but obviously something's stopping it up a little bit because the water's up above the limestone, which means that the water's about 8 inches high. Maybe I'll walk down there today, because there's no way I'm going down in it with my back. Oh yeah, you can see how high the grass is. So I'm not going to do the trim, but I may get out the, once I get the water started in the bathrooms, I may go ahead and mow with the lawn tractor. So I'm going to go ahead and open up, unlock both bathrooms and unlock the pump room. So when I'm ready, I can just get started. Plus I need to get the, we've got the hose in here. Need to eventually get it out. Look at all of the dead bugs. Unfortunately, I think they're termites. I've sprayed, and that's why they're dead. Since I'm going to start it, we might as well. I'm not sure, but momentarily it felt like it wasn't going to work. I haven't opened this one up all winter. This one looks like it's pretty good. We don't have the termites on this side like we do on the other. Well, Need to stop and think what I need to get started, put my tools together, and then we'll get started on something. Okay, first thing I need to do is open this up. See the valves down there. Go ahead and shut them both, even though I'm probably not going to get the water running to the lodge today unless I got time after I mow. It is so bad. The small one is the valve. Is the drain for the lodge. Got that shut. This is the valve for there is the valve for the inlet pipe. So it is shut. Now in here, this tree, the bottom goes to the bathrooms, but I'm still going to turn that off for now. The top goes to the lodge. I'm going to turn it off. Now I need to get a filter and put into the water filter here. I'll get that together and get it started. Okay, I've got the body, I've got a filter in it, and I got just a little bit of bleach in the bottom of it. First thing I want to make sure is I have my O-ring up here. I'm just going to make it finger tight. I'm going to turn it on to bypass so that it's not on right at the start. Next thing we need to do, need to shut this valve. Which I believe it's already shut. That's what drains the bottom of the body of the pump. And now, need to open that and need to close the valve down here so that it doesn't all leak out when it first comes on. Should come on, go up to the filter, and then down to the tree and stop. Might as well, while I'm here on my knee, go ahead and turn this. This is one of the drains. Turn that drain off. And we've got a drain back here that needs to be turned off. Got that one turned off. Now I need to get a bucket of water from the lake and we'll start priming this. We'll turn this one off to keep water from going down into here. Turn you back on in just a moment. Okay, I'm back with some water. And what I want to do is fill it up to where it stops here. Probably going to take more than just this gallon. Now what I want to do, I've got a little bit of water in there. I want to put some bleach down in there. That way when we turn the pump on, it'll circulate bleach through the lines. I can't believe it, but I think we're just about full. Enough bleach. We'll go back to water. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear the water starting to come forward. Now open this up, this valve down here to let water into the pump. There we go. You can hear that it emptied it out. Now we'll try filling this up to here. Check underneath the pump, make sure that I do have that valve closed. Getting air bubbles out of it. One thing I haven't done is I didn't go out to the lake where the foot valve is out there and clean it off. Sometimes it'll get a bloom of algae on it. Oh, let's turn this off. Now, we're going to turn this on and see what happens. It's starting to build. Let's see if we get water coming through here. Filled with water. Turn that off. What I want to do is I want to turn it on to the bathrooms. So I need to go in the bathrooms and shut all the valves off. So all we're doing is filling the pipes up. First thing I'm going to do is get this hose out of here. Righty tighty, so That should be off. That should be off. We're going to shut this most of the way. We're going to leave it just slightly open so we start getting air pushed out of there. Alrighty tighty. Should be off. It should be off. We're going to turn the pump back on. And now we're going to open the tree to the bathrooms. Well, we know the pump is pumping. Turn that off and see if we get up to 50 pounds. Putting all these valves in here, especially where I can fill it here, I think has made a difference. We're up to about 48. See where it shuts off at. If it shuts off, we'll turn the valve on the outside, let it run until it turns back on, and make sure that it powers back on like it should. We're right at 50 there. Just the fact that we're up to 50. Yeah, there we go. About 52 it turned off. I'm going to turn that on that fast. See how long it takes to drain down, and then make sure that the pump turns back on. If that's working okay, then we'll go into the bathrooms and hook up the toilets. Let the toilets run. Then I'll get out the cartridges for the sinks and get the sinks running. And then I think I'm going to do the grass because it looks terrible. I still hear a lot of air in there. Okay. There we go, turned on. So I'm going to go hook up the toilets. Okay, I went ahead and swept this side out a little bit, get rid of some of those bugs. But before we turn it on, need to reconnect it. So I'm going to spray all over the place. Doing this with one hand, getting started. A little bit difficult, especially when I'm not looking there. I'm looking, I think it's a little easier. There we go. I've got adjustable pliers with me if I need them, but try to do everything finger tight so I don't break things. Check to see if I had the O-ring in there. I think it was. Here we go. We have water flowing in the toilet. With enough water in it. While I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and hook this up. I may run it just to let water go through the valve. Make sure the turn off here is not leaking. Yep. We've got water. Turn that back off. Make sure this turns off in about a half a minute. And it just turned off. Now we'll flush. There we got a good swirl. And still got a half tank left. So it shouldn't take that long to refill up. That worked. So we'll go to the other bathroom. Oh, but first, you can see how clean the water looks coming out. I'm going to turn this water off. Good. Okay, what we're going to do in here is turn everything off. All valves go off. So we've got all the water to the sinks, to the shower. Oh, there's it. Even if the water were to leak through the main valve, everything else should be turned off. And until I get a chance to flush it, we don't turn them on. So what I'm going to do is turn this one on. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to leave that one off for right now. But we need to go back out. Go back out to the bathroom or to the pump room and turn on the tree to the lodge. Let's also make sure that the main valve is not leaking. It's not, it's still dry. We'll check it, make sure that going out to the, this goes to the lodge. You can hear it flow into the pipe and then stop. Don't see any water down there. So the water is coming into here, it's all turned off. I think I am going to go ahead and flush it. Cold water. That'll only take a few minutes. I got to get a couple pipes and then I'll show you what we're doing. Okay, what we want to do is flush out that pipe that comes from the pump room. This is just like draining it. We put in a pipe into the drain, putting it out to the drain where we want water to go. We don't want it to go to the water heater, so we leave that off. We want the water to come in, go towards the shower just momentarily. We're going to turn that on, and we're going to turn the drain on so that instead of going to the shower, we'll just start pumping cold water right through here, and hopefully anything that's in those pipes start coming out. And I'll turn it on slowly. Now you can see the amount of dirt in that. It's pretty dark water coming out. We'd rather it drain here than go into our water heater and into our cartridges. Turn on a little harder. Ooh. Quite a bit of muddy water. Draining slowly. Starting to clear up a little. What I want to do is run it until it clears up. Get all the dirt, minerals, whatever else is in those pipes, and get it flushed out before we send it to the sink. Looking fairly clear now. Turn it on just a little harder. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn this off. Leave that like that. Let that drain out a little. And then I'll do a second flush after I mow the front or whatever. Okay, I opened up the shed. You can see where I sprayed. For the most part, it did a pretty good job around the wood pile. So I'm going to get on the tractor, see if I can get it started. And if I can, I'm going to start mowing. And then hopefully when I'm done, I can do a couple other things with the water system. If not, my back is too far gone from mowing, which sometimes it happens. Then we'll head home. Put it up on the rabbit. Brake on. Key on. Okay, I got the side yard, the backyard, front yard. This is all done. So I am going to take a break before my back tightens up too much. And then I think I'll work on faucets. I don't know how long I'll work on the faucets, but I'd like to get the bathroom faucets going and the kitchen faucet going. So we'll try that and see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna try working on the faucets in the bathroom. First thing I gotta do is get out my black and yellow case here. And these are the parts for the sinks, and these are the tools. Light here. There we go. Top of the tank, put it back on. Everything is so dang dirty. So we're going to first put on in the cartridge. I'm having a hard time getting it to seat. The biggest problem I have with these are the O-rings, that they swell and they get larger. Let's get it back out. I have it seated. Put this on finger tight. Oh, we got water running through this valve. Turns on there. See if it ever turns off. Trying to get all these dead bodies out of here, so they're not stopping up the drain. adjusting the screw down, which tightens the spring. And we'll see if that makes any difference. If these old ones don't work, I've got some new ones. Well, it's trying to turn off. But it doesn't. It's not quite seated either. I think the O-ring is probably screwed up on it. Let's pull it out and see. Yep, the O-ring came out. Well, I'm going to turn you off a second. I'm going to go find those new ones and try a new one in there. Okay, I found the new ones. It's a good sign that the water didn't come on. Let's try. I tightened it down a little bit before I put it in there. So it looks like I need to loosen it up a little bit. Turn it off. Put the pressure off. Back this off a little. There we go. That's too much. That was around 30 seconds, which is too much. So we'll tighten it down a little more. 3 turns, see what that does. That's right at 20 seconds, which I think is pretty good. The pump running, charging up. We're going to leave it at that. What I need to do is turn this off, take this off, and tighten down the top nut onto the adjustment nut. keep them from moving. So now, what I need to do, need to put the aerator just get it started, and now this is where the tools come in. Got a key here, fits into the face. See how it works without, hopefully it works without spraying too much. Right at 20 seconds. Alright, turn this just another quarter turn or so. It's in there tight, so you don't want to get it in where you can't get it out. And then the other tool in here is a Allen wrench. Put this on. There's a little Allen screw that needs to be tightened down to keep it from coming off. There we go. That's 3 seconds. Get your hands all soapy and then get up here and get pushed off. I'm going to go do the other one now. See how much difference that is. Okay, so I'm going to flush this one more time, hook up the hot and cold. But what I want to do is also flush the hot water. So to do that, I'm going to install this partial hose up here. And then we'll force water through it. Hopefully, if there's anything in the line, it'll come out before it gets to the filter of the hot water heater. If that happens, pressure goes down. I have to take the pipe off, clean the input. Okay, before I do that, Let's see, I did do this a second time earlier. I was in here on a break. Was empty out. That's looking pretty clean. So I am going to turn the cold drain off, turn the cold to the shower off. And then I am going to let's get you up here. You can see if there's anything coming out of the hot water line. I've got to turn the hot water on, or the cold water on to the water heater. And now I need to I gotta turn the water on first. Oh, nice green stuff in the inside of the copper pipe. But it's looking clear now. Turn that back off. Take his pipe off. Wipe cold water on and off to the faucet. It is leaking. Down here, I'm going to take the and install this nozzle. It's no longer selectable. Shall we try the hot water? Well, I'm also going to need to cut that off. turn it off. We're gonna hit the breaker. The switch. 131 degrees, it says. Now we're gonna turn on the water. And it worked. We're gonna see if it warms up, and then we're gonna make sure that it turns off when you turn the water off. Looks like maybe the cold water has stopped dripping. Oh yeah, that's hot. See the steam? So let's turn it off. Within 3 seconds it turned off. So that's working. Well, I'm gonna start cleaning up and getting the hell out of here because I'm tired. Okay, it's getting dark outside, like it might be getting ready to rain, so I got everything packed up. Let's talk about it. I got both of these doors locked. I've got this door locked. I've got everything back into the utility room. Let's close it up. I got the water running in here, got the faucet hooked up, even the hot water, but I've got the water turned off at the main because I've got two shut-off valves, one for the hot and cold that are starting to leak. So I'm going to replace those. Thankfully, they're just screw-on. Let there be no light. There's no light. I think it said 320. Yeah, it's 330. It's 328. I got the SUV loaded up. I put the gas can away. I set up the temporary shed. I got the lawn mowed, and for just doing it with the lawn tractor, it looks pretty good. I didn't get any of the trim, so you can see there's tall grass around the edges. Put back up the one swan that got knocked down. Everything's looking pretty good. You can see where, like I said, the weed spray really seemed to work with that vinegar mix. So one thing I did while I was taking a break, if you want to call it a break, I took that gallon and I started spraying it on some of the rest of this driveway, see what it does. Probably be a week, it'll be at least a week, maybe 2 weeks before I get back down here. Toilets are hooked up. 1001, 1002, don't care, two's fine. If you'll notice, one thing I didn't do is really clean good. That is for another day, maybe not even me. I come down here to work and I don't have the retiree with me anymore. My wife is in Princeton, Indiana with her mother, taking her to appointments. She's 98 years old, still lives alone, but she needs help in transportation. 1001, 1002, 1003. Good enough for me. Lock the door. Pull it shut. Toilets are still filling, but I'm going to turn on the outside water to get it down and let it recharge so that it's up at 50 pounds when I leave. Plus we can check out and see if it's still nice clear water. Yeah, I do need to change that filter again now that I've put the filter in there to catch stuff that might still be in the pipe. Let this run until I hear the pump go on. Lights on. Make sure it pumps back up properly. And we don't hear anything running. Lock this back here. And it stayed fairly dry in here, so thankfully no leaks from winter. And the pump started right up. And with the new priming system, it primed right up. Like I said, I still need to look at the foot valve, make sure that it doesn't have a lot of algae on it. At 50, let's turn it off at 52. Turn it on right around 30, so that's perfect. It's right around 51, 50. Lights off, pumps off. Door's locked. Make sure I locked it. I think I locked the door. I can't remember locking it. Yes, I did. So I'm done for the day. Like I said, it's overcast now. Clouds are moving in. Rain's supposed to come in this evening. So I'm done. I got a trip out of town next week. Be back on Thursday. So I may get down here on Friday, but it depends on how tired I am. So until the next time, take care of yourself and stay safe. Don't know what the hell that was.